Jalen Hurts, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl ring, playoff appearance after playoff appearance, a 19-point deficit, and he had the comeback. Paige Dimakos, what does Jalen Hurts have to do to be considered a top 10 quarterback?
Apparently become Jesus Christ, because I don't really know what else everybody wants from him, including his own fan base, which I will get to later. I'm going to pay that off later on in the show, okay? Because this goes down to everybody. But this was a topic of conversation all offseason. There was a quarterback list that came out, right? And they called it the Big Four, okay? And the Big Four did not include the current reigning Super Bowl champion, MVP of the Super Bowl. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. We couldn't believe it. We talked about it a lot this summer, right? And so when this game happens, right, and they're in this moment, and the Rams are putting these guys away, right? And this is much like the game. Obviously, this was the NFC Championship game that happened last year. It was a very good game. I expected it to be a close game. I didn't expect the Rams to blow them out. In the third quarter, you're going, okay, this is about to get away from them. I think it was 24-6 or 20. It was ugly. Yeah, it was ugly. And on the broadcast, there's a 33-yard touchdown to Dallas Goedert. And I think it's Mark Sanchez who's calling the game who says, this is the first time where Philadelphia has finally put it in the hands of Jalen Hurts and said, go be the man. And that's exactly what happened. And Philly, I'm begging you to remember that you have the man on your roster. Stop A.J. Brown should not be getting the ball. Jalen Hurts should not be not doing what he does best. He can run the ball. He can do the tush push, but he can also throw the damn ball, Keith. And I don't know why it's taken so long for everybody to accept that, but apparently he needs to literally be resurrected or something. I don't know what's going to take for everybody to respect my man.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts told everybody last year. He said, just because I don't doesn't mean I can't, right? And what he was 100%. Referencing, just because I don't go out there every single week and throw for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, doesn't mean I can't do it, right? Because there's something in stats that there's empty yards, right? To where you have these quarterbacks. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and name some names. Phillip Rivers, right? This guy, year after year, threw for 5,000, 4,500, 5,000, 4,500. How many Super Bowl appearances did it result in? How many Super Bowl wins did it result in? How many clutch moments did it result in, right? And that's what you have to start looking at it from that perspective of, is Jalen Hurts just flat out winning football games? We are coming off of just watching the Dallas Cowboys Netflix series, right? And you know who my one-to-one comp is? Jalen Hurts is this eras in this version and this dynasty version of Troy Aikman. He has a Hall of Fame running back. He has a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and all he's focused on is committing to the process and winning football games. And we talked about it. Watching Troy Aikman, we was like, you know what? That guy's a flat-out winner.
Doesn't have enough respect.
Doesn't have enough respect, and that's exactly what Jalen Hurts is right now in his career, is that the guy's just flat-out winning. We all said we want unselfish players on our team, right? We want guys that don't care about the statistics. We want guys that don't want the credit, and he's being exactly that guy, and we're penalizing him because he's not going to the offensive coordinator and cussing him out and saying, I need to throw for 300 yards so when I get on Twitter, the fans don't get mad with me. He doesn't care about that. He told Chris Jones, right? And after Chris Jones complained, remember last week when they played the Kansas City Chiefs,
they caught it
Chris
on the mic.
Jones was sitting right there and was like, y'all ran that play 5 times, whatever it may be, and he said, yeah, we got the F and W. Right?
No, he said, you don't even have 100 yards.
Yeah,
that's what Chris Jones said.
Yeah, that's what he told him. You don't have 100 yards.
You don't have 100 yards.
He said, don't matter. We got the fucking win.
Because it doesn't matter. Because that's my one question to you is, why do you play the game?
Right, yep. You play the game to win.
You play the game to win. If the point of playing sports, and I think we've lost the narrative, and this is across all sports, we're stat padding, okay? We're doing things, we're individuals. Football is the ultimate team sport. We talk about this a lot. And it requires everyone, including special teams, which we will get to later on, okay, to be a part of the victories, to be a part of the wins. And Jalen Hurts is a winner.
Yeah.
That's what Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts is a winner. He was a winner in college. He was a winner at the next level. And all he's done is win. So your original question, what more can he do? You know what? Keep hating on him, because all he's going to do is keep winning. Yeah. That's how I feel. And I don't know. I put this more on the thing I don't want to happen is I don't want this offense to not be run properly because they're trying to hold back for some reason. So A.J. Brown needs to get the damn ball. A.J. Brown is special. You didn't get that player to not give him the ball. Right. Today was what you needed to see. The second half, that's a playbook. I get that's not how it's always going to be. Maybe in December when you need to run the damn ball and it's cold. In September, let it fly, baby. What are we doing? I just don't understand.
I'm going to jump in there, and I'm going to tell you exactly what this is. everybody, you can't blame Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. You want to know why? Because the rest of the NFL can't stop it.
Yeah,
if all I have to do is turn around and hand the football off to Saquon Barkley 35 times a game, and I don't have to worry about passing concepts, I don't have to worry about all of these different things where things can go bad, stop Saquon Barkley first. You stop the run game first and force Jalen Hurts to throw the football.
And what happened?
And that's what the Philadelphia Eagles, they pushed their chips in the middle of the table every single week and said, we're going to run the football first, and when you stop the run, then we'll think about passing
and that's the problem I have, is that just because he wasn't doing it doesn't mean he can't, right? And that's the point, is like, listen, Saquon Barkley can run the ball. And when he doesn't, Jalen Hurts is that dude. He's that dude. He's been that dude. He showed it to you in Super Bowls. He showed it to you in NFC Championship games. He showed it to you in big moments, in clutch moments. So this is on the media to stop with the bullshit, quite frankly. He is a top 3 quarterback in the league. Period. End of conversation. Patrick Mahomes hasn't done shit the last 2 weeks. I don't hear anybody saying Patrick Mahomes isn't a good quarterback. What are his stats the last few weeks?
And I mean, and we go to all of these quarterbacks, right? Like I think some people list had C.J. Stroud listed inside the top 10, Jaden Daniels inside the top 10.
Yeah, how that looking?
Right. We had plenty of quarterbacks, and I think it's just time for the disrespect of Jalen Hurts to stop. And I think you look at this game, right? Look at this game in totality, and you seen everything who Jalen Hurts was as a quarterback. You talked about it. First of all, the fans were booing the Philadelphia Eagles. Second of all, they were at home getting rolled over by the Los Angeles Rams. Third, he got blown up twice in that game.
He got
2
hit.
big-time hits. So everything was going bad. And it's only a grown-ass man that responds in that facet, right? A lot of guys, they fold up the tent and they pack their stuff and say, you know what, maybe we'll go at it next week. But he responded. He said, you know what, everything is going bad against me. Everything's not going right. He had another Jordan moment, right? Well, I'm going to take over this game and I'm going to handle business. And I guarantee you, he walked in their locker room post-game and had the same exact demeanor. Because like he told y'all, just because I don't mean I can't.
No, and I think the biggest moment is something that didn't happen off the field. It was at the end of the second half. It was a great leadership moment.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts walks over to Saquon Barkley, who's sulking. The only word that I can use is sulking. Saquon was sulking. And Jalen Hurts walked over to him, and you could tell he was motivating him. And that's Saquon Barkley.
Right.
Just a reminder whose team this is. This is Jalen Hurts' team. It's not Saquon Barkley's team. It's not not Nick Sirianni's team. It's Jalen Hurts' team, and don't get it twisted.
Yep. When the head coach is acting a fool, when A.J. Brown is trying to act like he's reading
a damn book on the sideline.
This guy has to be, and that's why I go back to the Troy Aikman thing.
Bring out the
think
noise.
about it. A.J. Brown is Michael Irvin, right? You have Saquon Barkley and Emmitt Smith. You have the Barry Switzer, right? And you have Nick Sirianni. Like Troy Aikman was the consistent part for the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Hurts is the consistent part for this Philadelphia Eagles dynasty.
And they both all they wanted to do was winning. And at the end of the day, when Jalen Hurts eventually has his Hall of Fame moment, just like Troy Aikman did, you know what people care about? Gold jackets and rings. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what your legacy is. Philadelphia Eagles fans aren't going to remember 5,000-yard passers. They will remember winning Super Bowls. That's it. That's
100%.
That's how I feel. So let's talk about another passer.
Yeah, I was about to say that. We're about to talk about something to where if this guy ends up with a Hall of Fame jacket and a couple rings, Paige Dimakos might be untamable, right? And that is the Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I would say he probably had a top 5 performance of his entire career thus far against the Dallas Cowboys. And last week, we were in this very same studio, and there was a panic or patience conversation that was applied to Caleb Williams. I want you to kind of outline what you've seen this week with Caleb Williams against the Dallas Cowboys.
I would like to direct this comment to all the people in the comment section who told me that I was stupid for saying to be patient.
Right, that you didn't know what you were watching.
Didn't know what I was watching. Had to call my dad for comments to figure out football. Just so we're clear, my dad calls me for all football advice, and Keith can attest to that. What Caleb Williams did today was a huge step forward. 142.6 passer rating, almost a perfect passer rating. 4 touchdowns, 298 yards. The ball got spread everywhere. They ran the ball. He had design runs. He did everything today. And this was another game, okay, where last week there was a lot of motivation to go beat Ben Johnson. Same conversation was happening. Brian Schottenheimer said out loud, we want to give Matt Eberflus the game ball after this game. After we beat the Chicago Bears and take care of that offense, we want to give the game ball to Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus ain't getting no game balls. No game balls came to Matt Eberflus. And you want to know why? Because Ben Johnson and Caleb are getting comfortable with each other. Ben challenged the Bears offense. He said, you guys are not practicing like a championship team. You want to know what Caleb Williams did? He didn't sulk. He didn't complain about it. He didn't bitch about his coach. He said, no, my coach is right. Yep. We need to do better. And that's exactly what a leader looks like. This is a young man who's learning how to be a professional in front of everybody in the second largest and most obnoxious market in the country, right behind New York. And he's doing a damn good job. And Bears fans, y'all better be quiet in Chicago this week. You better be real quiet because this is exactly what you wanted. This was a team that needed this win just as much as we did. Just as much as we did. And they came out there and they did everything right. You saw a major step forward. Now go build off of it, right? This is going to be a big confidence builder, I think, for Caleb moving forward, Keith.
Yeah, so the biggest thing with this result with the Dallas Cowboys win was 3 letters, right? And this was 3 letters in coaching. It's KYP, stands for Know Your Personnel. Yep. This is the first time that you've seen Ben Johnson activate certain players in certain situations, right? Having DJ Moore in the backfield, right? Knowing to activate the young rookie Luther Burden, right? Yep. Knowing when to get activated Rome Odunze and what situations to put him in. Throwing DeAndre Swift screens. And then, like you talked about, using Caleb Williams' legs, right? Some positive momentum going forward. And then even getting a tight end involved with Cole Kmet, right? Yep. So this is the first time I think that they're trying to figure each other out, right? Yeah, they're trying to figure out what works. He's trying to figure out the wide receivers, trying to figure out the tight ends, trying to figure out Caleb Williams. And
he's trying to figure out also what builds Caleb's confidence, right? In the same way he did with Jared Goff.
That's exactly where I was about to go because you see Caleb on, and that was week 1 with the Minnesota Vikings, right? Where we seen him make some spectacular throws and then miss some, right? Yep, so you're trying to figure out your quarterback mentally. How do I ground him? How do I stabilize him? Yes. What gets him going? That's all things that goes into play calling. Yep. It's not just a play sheet. There's emotion that's applied to that. You're 100%. Dealing with human beings, right? Yep. And you're dealing with just their confidence overall. So I looked at that from that perspective, and I was like, that's why it's a positive sign. So you hope to take this, and you take this in the next week and continue to build and to build. But I think that's why we sit here and we stand right, is that we kept saying, be patient with this process. We believe in what the results will be.
And I get, listen, fans are not patient.
In the moment. Yes,
fans are not patient. Trust me, I took those phone calls from my father and my brother, and I had to do the same thing I do to the audience, tell them to be patient. Why? Because you can't expect Caleb to build off of last year. There was nothing to build off of last year. There wasn't. You have to take last year and you have to throw it out. Yep. This is the first year. This is a new coordinator. And I will again tell everyone, how many quarterbacks do y'all have to see switch situations and have success before you realize that it's not just about the quarterback. It's about the damn situation because, checks notes, Carson Wentz put it on today.
And Daniel Jones.
Been putting it on.
He holds the record for the team that went the longest to start a season without punting the football.
And that was a Peyton Manning team, Andrew Luck team, not an organization that hasn't had quarterbacks. I think it's in the
NFL. I think NFL history.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's what all the greats.
Which is insane.
Daniel Jones holds
Danny Dimes, somebody that was getting dunked on left and right, and that's where you're dealing with what you said as a coach. You're dealing with human beings. You're dealing with human error. You're dealing with emotions. You think that shitting on a player is going to help build their confidence? Does that work for you when you're at work? Does somebody call you and yell at y'all when you do a bad job?
Yep.
I'm just asking.
Or what if you got booed in on your way to the building?
That's what I mean. I don't know many people that enjoy that. I think maybe me picking LSU at the Tuscaloosa bar and getting booed, that's probably about the sickest version of that I would endure. That's not how you build confidence, especially in a young person. You're talking about 22-year-old quarterback.
Yep.
Like these are not easy things. They got to deal with social media and the fans, and I get it. They get paid a lot of money. That doesn't excuse them from having human emotion. Right. I think that's what fans need to realize. That's what fans need to realize.
I agree 100%. Let's do this. This is our first time doing this on Draft Club.
Oh, we're excited.
Yeah, we're going to play a little fact or fiction, and this ties right in because Caleb Williams played well.
Yes.
And he played well against a defense that hasn't played well. So here's my first fact or fiction. The Dallas Cowboys defense will prevent them from making the playoffs. Fact or fiction?
Fact. This defense is, especially since I just watched this one closely. I haven't watched this Bears game very closely. This defense, as much as, listen, Matt Eberflus, I could take a lot of things away from him as a coach. One thing he knows how to do, he's very good at stopping the run. He's going to get the best out of his team. And you do have some guys that are going to come back later on. You got DeMarvion Overshown that's going to come back. You got a couple guys that will come back and make this defense better. That being said, It's not enough. This defense is not talented enough to overcome. And Dak is as good as Dak can be. There's no offense that exists that's going to overcome having to score 30 points every week. Like, that's what's going to be expected. You're going to have to go put 35 up every week. And that's just not going to happen. This isn't the Joe Burrow offense.
Yeah, and speaking of Joe Burrow, I'm going to go fact with it too, and I said this and I'm going to say this again.
Yeah.
This version of the Dallas Cowboys are nothing but the Cincinnati Bengals of last year.
Yeah, it's the same
They have
shit.
a good quarterback, they have 2 good wide receivers, and they'll always fall short because their defense won't be able to stop people enough. So it's just a simple rinse and repeat situation. Yeah. And I'll say this, just from a coaching perspective, and it's something from a philosophy standpoint, I kind of adopted that offensive-wise, you can coach your way out of that with average personnel. You can have average personnel and scheme things open, right? Yeah. But when you have players that are not up to par on the defensive side of the football, there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. And trust me, I've seen it in person, right? There's nothing you can do about that. So,
and Brandon Aubrey has helped you overcome some things that you should be 0-3.
Yeah,
like,
let's
be honest. Special teams has put you in a position where you won a game.
Potentially the best kicker in the NFL.
Literally, I mean, there's nobody else that's hitting the kicks that Brandon Aubrey hit. So I think that's where you look at this. And if you're a Cowboys fan, it's not just this team is not. It's not a good enough team.
It's just not talented enough.
No, they're not talented enough.
And you know me, I always go to, you ask me, hey, what team is going to win, what team is going to lose, things like that.
Personnel
I always go to roster. Yep. Team just ain't good enough.
Yep.
Right?
And here or there, on any given Sunday, every once in a while, a team will get knocked in the mouth. But most of the time, it's based off of who's a more talented team.
Yep, 100%. Let's do this. Fact or fiction? Mike McDaniel will not be the first coach fired. I'm going to give you a list of other names that could be key candidates. Brian Daboll, Aaron Glenn. We have Taylor, and we have Kellen Moore.
Okay, so Mike McDaniel will not be the first. So that's a fact because I don't think he's going to be the first coach fired. I don't. And I think that's because he just went up to Buffalo on a Thursday night game and played. I mean, they gave Buffalo everything they could. And honestly, it was a horrible tour interception at the end that put this game out of reach. And I saw a lot from Mike. I questioned him. I saw a lot from him in that game. He coached his ass off in that game.
No, he did.
And I think this is one where I think there's a better shot of the Giants moving on. Depending on how that goes, I think there's a better shot of Zach Taylor losing his job after what was an absolute dismantling. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be Mike McDaniel first. And I also think the owner's a little cheap. Doesn't want to pay that buyout.
Yeah, so
that matters too.
I'm going to look at this. And 2 of the names, Zach Taylor not Zach Taylor, Aaron Glenn and Kellen Moore, both of those situations look really bad, right?
Really bad.
But they're both first-year head coaches, so I don't know if they're going to pull a plug after a few games, talking about ownerships or the GMs and things like that. So because of that, I'm going to go fiction. I think it will be Mike McDaniel.
Okay.
I think it will be Mike McDaniel.
We're split on that one.
Yeah, but to your point, and then you went with Brian Daboll. I have another fact of fiction playing right into the New York Giants. Jackson Dart will start for the New York Giants week 4.
Oh, I wish I knew the outcome of the Sunday Night Football game. But what I will say is I think that is fiction.
Okay.
I think that's fiction, and I think it's fiction because Russell Wilson had a all-time performance in Dallas. I mean, he threw for almost 500 yards. And I don't think that when you look at this team, if Brian Daboll is honest with himself, if you throw Jackson Dart out there and he's not very good, then you definitely losing your job.
Oh, yeah, it's over with.
Yeah, and so I think this has a lot to do with him trying to coach for keeping his job. If he's trying to keep his job, he's got to hold off Jackson Dart for as long as possible because that is his ticket to him having a job in the future is, hey, oh, yeah, by the way, we have this carrot. This carrot that we really like. And whether or not that carrot's going to work out or not, we don't know. But the moment he plays him, the clock is ticking. And I don't think he wants that. So that's why I'm going with fiction.
Nah, I agree. All right, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and let's do this one.
Okay.
No other quarterback or no other player besides Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson can win the MVP this year.
Ooh. I'm going to go fact. And it's because I think Josh Allen going to go back-to-back.
Okay.
He's going to go back-to-back because Josh Allen is doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, he balling.
Crazy stuff. And I don't think this is – Josh Allen has a look of I'm on a man with a mission. And you saw them get knocked in the mouth in that first game, and I felt like that's all they needed.
Yeah.
That's all they needed. They needed to get knocked in the mouth one time, and I think there's blood in the water, right? The Chiefs are struggling. This is a team, like, that's the team that they've always had as the threshold of the team that they want to win. And Josh Allen, a mofo. He want to beat everybody, and I think it's going to be him. So I'm going fact.
I'm going to go fiction.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with your guy. I think you're probably about to say, oh, damn. I'm going with Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah. I love that one.
I'm going
Listen,
with Justin.
I'm all gas no brakes for that.
They're 3-0. I think they're going to have the storyline. He's productive.
He's playing his ass off.
He's efficient,
100%.
and that's going to be the key to this. And while you can tell that they want to implement the run game and good defense, you could tell that this is Justin Herbert's team still. Yeah. They're still winning through him, so I think statistically he's going to have enough stats.
Jim Harbaugh made that clear. He's like, Justin Herbert, if we lose, it's not because of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let's do this. Fact or fiction? The tush push will be banned in 2026.
Oh, that's a fact. This shit's dead. It was almost dead. This past year, they almost had enough votes. If they the Chiefs are going to do everything they can behind the scenes to filibuster to get this to come back so that they can vote on this. If they could vote today, they would, right? The Chiefs already complained to the NFL, which, by the way, Chiefs, wah.
Right.
Like, what baby ass behavior is that? You are too good of a team and an organization to be bitching on the side. Apparently not, though. Because that's what they did. They were complaining to the league about the team. And I just think there's way too much noise right now. And Roger Goodell hates the tush push. He wanted this shit dead. And that was very clear. And for that reason, I believe the Eagles are really the only team that likes this shit. So I think it was one more vote at the owners' meeting. Next owners' meeting, this shit's going to get banned. It's a fact. Unfortunately, I wouldn't ban it, but I think it's going to.
I'm going to go fact. Mm-hmm. And this is a soft move. I forgot what show it was. It was soft move, a boss move. This is a soft move right here. Banning the tush push. And I have more of that coming later for my final point to talk about the tush push. Yeah. Let's do this. This is a NFL draft conversation.
Okay, I like that.
Fact or fiction, the number one pick will not be a quarterback this year.
Fact. One, I don't know who QB1 is. That's the problem.
Guess what, Paige Dimakos? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. And that's a big problem. We're spending a lot of time. We do this for a living. You and I talk about these quarterbacks, and we're like, I don't know. It's not looking so good.
I was like, hey, I'm not sure about Fernando Mendoza. Then he went and hung 5 touchdowns and 65 points. And I'm like,
okay. But I just don't feel comfortable with any of these quarterbacks right now. And I think if you're the league, right, you can't, there's no team that I think is desperate enough to move on from a quarterback, because I think of some of the situations of the teams that are up towards the top, and I'm like, are they going to move on for a young guy, number one? Are they going to move up to go get, I don't think that guy is there. That doesn't mean it will happen, but as of today, I think that it's going to be somebody else.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
I say fact, too. The number one pick in this draft will not be a quarterback, and it won't be a quarterback because up until this point, none of these quarterbacks in college football have shown that they can carry a bad situation. No. If you look at the history in the past, right, every team that selected a quarterback, top number 1, number 2, number 3, they've all been face of the franchise. They're going to have to carry this franchise. Even if they didn't live up to expectations or not, that was always the duty. I don't think that we see at this very moment that they can carry a franchise. So that's why I'm leaning offensive tackle, defensive lineman.
Anybody but a quarterback, something, for the love of
like
God,
right
somebody else.
I'm going fact. I don't think it'll be a quarterback selected at
as much as I like some of these guys.
No, I like them, but the
I don't
question
love any
becomes,
of them.
and that's what has to happen, right? You have to fall in love with one of these quarterbacks. 100%. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with a different player, but let's do this. I had to pass the rock, right?
Yeah, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Have some fun
it's
with
my
this.
turn. We're going to play contender and pretender. Okay, so I'm going to give you a team. We're both going to answer. You're going to answer first.
Yep.
Whether or not this team is a contender or a pretender. Most of these teams are 3-0. There's a couple 2-1 teams at the end. Let's start off with the Buffalo Bills, contender or pretender?
Yeah, contender, right? This is a layup. Any team that has Josh Allen and add any other weapon that you want around them is a flat-out contender. The Buffalo Bills, they're going to be there at the end of this thing, and they're going to be contending for a Super Bowl.
Josh Allen, back-to-back MVPs. Need I say more? All right, moving right along. This is a wild one.
And I want to put the disclaimer out there. This is contender or pretender for Super Bowl, right?
Yes,
team that can make or win the Super Bowl.
Yes, 100%. Okay. Thank you for that. That is a qualifier because contending and pretending for anything other than a Super Bowl is loser behavior.
It's pretending.
It's loser behavior, and we don't do loser behavior on the Draft Club, okay? Next up, The Indianapolis Colts, contender or pretender?
Ooh, great story. Cinderella story. Danny Dimes. I want to upgrade you to Danny Dollar, to Danny Two Quarters, to Danny $5.
Jones.
You're Danny Dollar now, right? You're not even Danny Dimes. You earned the other 90 cents.
Danny 100.
But
Danny
I have
everything.
to go this pretender when you talk about the big picture of the AFC and making it to the Super Bowl. There's just other teams that's way too talented.
As much as I would love to smash the contender button, I got to go pretender too.
Yeah.
There's something about feels like, okay, this is going to be a giant step forward and then build off of it. Now listen, we've seen Eli Manning with the Giants team go beat the giant Tom Brady twice in a Super Bowl. So maybe they could go on a run, but it's very early. And I just don't think they have the championship pedigree quite yet to get to that point. So I'm going pretender.
I think I stumbled upon something. I'm going to say that again. Danny Dollars. I like that one.
Danny Dollars. I like that one, too. I like Indiana Jones. That's my favorite one. All right. This one I'm really excited to talk about, the LA Chargers, baby. 3-0.
I'm going to go.
You need a moment? Because I don't.
I'm going to go Los Angeles Chargers. They're contenders. They play good defense. They have a quarterback that I just talked about could be an MVP. Quentin Johnston at wide receiver is stepping up. They have a veteran in Keenan Allen. They have a young running back in Amari Hampton. They have one of the best offensive lines. And Jim Harbaugh just knows how to win freaking football games. Can you not picture him having to roll through Arrowhead, beat the Kansas City Chiefs, having to find a way to beat the Baltimore Ravens, figuring out a way to beat the Buffalo Bills? I think he can do all of those because he's been there, done that before. So I'm believing in Jim Harbaugh, the Justin Herbert-led Chargers. They're contenders for the Super Bowl.
Contenders, and a big reason why they're 3-0 in the division to start the year.
That's huge.
It's huge. You got to win. You got to win divisional games, and when you can start your season off like this against three teams that know you really well.
I didn't even think about that.
3-0 in the division. They beat three really damn good teams, really well-coached teams. This is impressive. Oh, by the way, an international game as well on top of that. Jim Harbaugh is a winner. Period. End of story. And you matched him with a supremely talented elite quarterback. And this is what you get. You are finally seeing this now. Khalil Mack, you saw the injury. As long as he can come back, it's not going to be something that's for the whole season. They're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. And I just have a lot of faith in Jim Harbaugh. I have a lot of faith in Jim Harbaugh, and he's got a lot of faith in Justin Herbert, and I've always had a lot of faith in Justin Herbert. Ask the Miami Dolphins how they feel about Justin Herbert these days. All right, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers. That's the next contender or pretender.
The San Francisco 49ers for the 2025 NFL season are pretenders. I'm not buying it. I think they're skating by the skin of their teeth. There's just too many injuries. They're at an inflection point. With this franchise, with the kind of like the players of the old and the players of the new that they're trying to interject. And I think this year is more of a transition period, right? To getting those guys that they drafted in the past, kind of getting them acclimated. And there's been injuries early on in the year, and this is early. Let's wait till we get to week 12, 13, 14, and the injuries actually start to pile up. So they sit 3-0. They've won some close games. They beat the Seahawks, and they just beat the Cardinals. But I still have to say I think they're pretenders when we talk about in the big scheme of things as far as making it to the Super Bowl winning one.
As much as I would love, I really want to say contender. I really do. Pretender because of injuries. It's too much, and I get it. I understand that this is a team that's proven. Kyle Shanahan has proven he can make it work with anybody, right? He can kind of figure it out. But he can't make it work with anybody and win a Super Bowl. That's what he hasn't done.
And that's why I'm glad
that's what this is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm glad we established a threshold. Could they make the playoffs?
Of course.
Yes.
I think they will. Honestly.
Super Bowl contenders, I just don't see that part.
No, and I don't think they have enough talent on the roster, quite frankly. They're in a transitional
period.
They
lost a lot.
They lost a ton. They lost a ton. And I think we're going to find out what this team looks like and who's in management. Is John Lynch going to stay around? This could be a very different looking team as we move forward. All right, let's keep it in the NFC, the Bucs. The Bucs are 3-0.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like this one. This one's fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tampa Bay Bucs. They're contenders. They're contenders because Baker Mayfield is playing at an MVP level. They have wide receivers on wide receivers. Mike Evans is healthy. If Mike Evans is healthy, then they have Chris Godwin coming back soon. Emeka Egbuka is playing like rookie of the year. They have second-year running back Bucky Irvin that's flat out balling out, looking like a top 10 running back in the entire NFL. Todd Bowles is going to take care of this defense. They're just scrappy.
Yep.
They just find a way to win. They're a tough out. And when you have a guy like Baker Mayfield who's totally turned his career around and now he's balling at a high level, he's one of those guys you have to start putting in that bucket of, if he's my quarterback, we always have a chance to win.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm at with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
You've got a soft division, which has a lot to do with this.
Yeah, that's
big part of this.
Big time.
Big time. This is a contender because you got a soft division. You've got championship pedigree. You've got a lot of guys on this roster who have already won a Super Bowl. Yep. You've got veterans in the places that matter, like Levante David, Baker Mayfield. You've got guys like
Antoine
Mike Evans.
Winfield Jr.,
These are guys, they set the tone for who this team is. And they're 3-0 without their left tackle. Mm-hmm. They're 3-0 without, for my money, the best left tackle in the NFL, Tristan Wirfs. When he comes back, Baker Mayfield, they're scraping by to get to this point. Mm-hmm. And today, I'm watching the ball get spread around. Sterling Shepard's still in the league?
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn. I was like, this is beautiful. Oh, my gosh, look at them. And Emeka Egbuka had one of the best catches I've seen in a long time. One-handed snag. I mean, he's playing like a vet. He looked like Mike Evans out there. Yep. And that's unbelievable when you put all these pieces together. They can survive having one or two guys out because Jason Light, you're really damn good at your job, brother. And you're really damn good at your job.
Yep, and another wide receiver, I think he's injured. I mean, we watched the play, right? Jalen McMillan is another wide receiver, second-year guy. Yeah.
They're stacked.
They're
literally ridiculous. All right, I can't wait to talk about this one.
The
Green Bay Packers. After I called them the best team in the NFL, the kiss of death, baby. How them Green Bay Packers looking?
Oh, Paige Dimakos, I'm about to disappoint you with this one.
Go ahead.
The Green Bay Packers are still contenders at the end of the day. Listen, and I know the conversation is going to be what is Jordan Love and his ceiling and the threshold. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm thinking. I think they are talented enough and should be talented enough when you look at this roster, position by position, to be able to carry him through bad moments and bad situations. So I don't know if I believe Jordan Love is a truck at this point, right? We talk about truck, trailer, and something that I thought about is a hitch.
Yep.
He's a hitch, right? And so I'm gonna go contenders because I think this team is just talented enough.
I'm going to go pretender.
Uh-oh, here we go. Let's get the thing started.
And you want to know why? Because Jordan Love is not proven.
Okay.
That's why. Jordan Love is not a proven commodity.
Explain yourself.
He has had great moments.
Yep.
He's had bad moments. Mm-hmm. He's had up and down. He is still making bad decisions turning over the ball. And when you turn the ball over, you cannot win in this league. I do not care how good you are, how talented you are. Ask Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is one of the most talented quarterbacks, arm talent. He can make any throw on the field. But when you make stupid decisions and you turn the ball over, you will not win in this league.
No.
And until he figures that shit out, they are pretenders. And I saw it play out. I thought he had skated by. The Detroit Lions had 2 interceptions, one that was taken back from them and one that a player dropped. There would have been 2 pick sixes. That game would have looked a lot different had that happened. The last week's game, same thing. I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, eventually this is going to catch up to them. Today, it caught up to them against the Cleveland Browns, who are an 0-2 team, who are not very good, and they looked lackluster. They also, their head coach looked like he was mystified watching Jordan Love play football. He was pissed. He did not hold back. LaFleur was not looking like he was enjoying himself. And this is the thing that for Packer fans, like, no bias. When you push all your chips to the middle, you got to be really damn sure that you got the guy. And that was the only reason why I was critical of the Micah Parsons thing, is because if you give up your draft, this was so unlike Green Bay. They never do this. This offseason, it was, you better be really damn sure that Jordan Love's the dude. And I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced he's the dude yet. And I don't think anybody can possibly be convinced, because what proof do you have? He's had good and bad. He's been up and down. He's had injuries. Let's see what he's got.
Let's see.
All right, the last one.
Okay.
The last one, the LA Rams.
The Los Angeles Rams are contenders.
Yeah.
Because they went to Philadelphia and they were up big on the Philadelphia Eagles. I think 19-point lead in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And let's be completely honest, the Los Angeles Rams lost that game more than Philadelphia won that game. They had
100%.
2 block kicks. Matthew Stafford started the game off with an interception. Yeah. It was a 4th and 1.
They should have put this game away.
Yeah, it was a 4th and 1. They didn't convert. I think it was the first or second play of the fourth quarter, right? They lost this game more than Philadelphia Eagles
100%.
won this game with all the mistakes. And if we consider the Philadelphia Eagles untouchable and they have this cheat play, right, this cheat code that nobody can touch, and they were up 19 points in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
then the Los Angeles Rams show me that they are the real
They
deal.
figured something out.
Devontae Adams, right, combined with Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, and then the defensive side of the football, those young bulls they have with Byron Young and Jared Verse and Kobe Turner.
They were
those
on
guys
his ass
are,
today.
they're ready to roll. I'm telling you, those guys are ready to roll. The Los Angeles Rams, they are contenders in the NFC.
Yeah. And I'm going to say the same thing. This is a contender team. This was the team I told you before this game started. I felt really good about the Rams winning that game.
Yep.
And they came out and they did everything everything and more, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw Jalen Hurts turn the championship pedigree on and come and put that Superman on his back. But that, make no mistake, they lost that game. The Rams lost that game. But when you're on the road and you could take the champs to that performance, you got something special. You got Matthew Stafford. What does it take to win a Super Bowl? Championship pedigree. You got that. Great coaching. Great quarterback. They got the players. They got the skill set. And that defense is nasty. I think when you look at Sean McVay, one thing you know what makes him great is he's going to go back, he's going to watch the film, and they're going to get better. This team will get better. He's shown you that because they took the Eagles to the brink last year.
And
in the snow, in
yep.
Philadelphia. Like, this is
Playoff
not a
game.
team that does not know. They were right there.
Without a Devontae Adams.
Yeah, without Devontae. And Devontae and Matthew Stafford, literally during the broadcast, they said that Matthew Stafford told him in the pregame meetings that he has to process quicker because Devontae gets off the line and beats his DB that fast. That is insane.
Yep.
Devontae still got it. Still got it.
And I'm going to throw this in there. Les Snead, we always know that he wills and deals. So
you're our boy, Les.
Yeah,
Draft Club certified GM. Him and Jason Light.
Yeah, I like Les Snead. He pushes he's another guy that pushes chips in the middle of the table at the right moment. Don't
100%.
be surprised if he makes a move on the defense side of the football or go gets another explosive
will.
offensive playmaker just to kind of put them
or
over the top.
Or we'll have forgotten about somebody that they have that's on IR that'll come back and we'll all be like, what the hell? How did that happen? Because that's the same thing with Jason Light today, right?
Yep.
These are two really damn good GMs who just consistently make their teams better. Two teams that went all the way in for a Super Bowl and did it and won. Very hard to do. Both of those GMs, I give them a lot of credit for no risk it, no biscuit BA, right? You go and get it, like go all the way in and pay it off. They both did it, and they're both still contending. That says a lot about how you can do that in this league. You can go all in, win, and then continue to win because both organizations have figured it out.
And it's something that NFL fans need to pay attention to
100%.
because it's too many times that NFL fans, they get caught up in a couple things. Future draft picks and salary cap, right?
Yep.
And I always say, and this is my quote, that you're so busy trying to worry about winning tomorrow that you forget to win today.
Yep.
And both of those franchises, they push their chips in the middle of the table. They say, we're the Tampa Bay Bucks, right? We're going to get Brady, Gronk, Leonard Fournette, Antonio Brown. The Los Angeles Rams said we're going to get Jalen Ramsey, they had Aaron Donald, they went and got Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
All these guys won a Super Bowl. Then the entire NFL fan base said, those teams are going to be bad.
Yep.
Guess what? They're right back atop the NFC. So
And
they might want to take notes.
And they both took quarterbacks that people had given up on.
Yeah, 100%.
Detroit gave up on Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
They traded him away, right? And then he went and won a Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield hasn't won a Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield has been totally revitalized, has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL of the last couple years. And he's put them in a position to be a contender with a capital C.
Yep. All I'm going to say is take notes. Take notes. Let's do this. This is what? This is
your favorite segment.
This is it.
Yeah.
Final point.
Yeah, go ahead. I know where you're going.
You don't want to go first?
I'll go first.
You go first. I like tossing it to you first. You go first.
I'm very ready for this.
All right, I'm going to let you.
All right, Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Uh-oh.
You don't deserve Jalen Hurts. Ooh. You don't deserve that Super Bowl. And you don't deserve shit because y'all were booing your Super Bowl champion MVP offense. And y'all need help, okay? You need to go to therapy. You need to figure it out. You need to find something else that's going to make you happy because booing that man in his home stadium is so far past disrespectful, I almost jumped through the television to knock all y'all asses out. Because I cannot believe what I am hearing. I could not believe it. And that's why when Sirianni turns around and looks at y'all and is giving y'all the middle finger, that's what y'all deserve. And I get it, it's Philly, but guess what? I grew up in Detroit, or I grew up in Chicago. I'm a Greek person. We're feisty too, okay? The Italians, the Greeks, we're all the same. You don't need to boo your own damn quarterback. If you want to boo somebody, boo Matthew Stafford, boo the Rams, be loud when the defense is on the field, and shut the hell up when the offense is on the field. Those are the damn rules. Learn them and stop booing Jalen Hurts. Y'all don't deserve him, and you're fucking lucky that he's your damn quarterback.
Okay. Well,
that's my final point.
I don't even know If I should have a final point after that, you're right. I probably should have went first because
I told you. I told you I was heated. I saw
were.
that shit and I was like, these guys, this is my final point. I want to go off right now. And that was 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Early for the West Coast people.
Right. All right, my final point is to the NFL, is to the owners, is to all of those people that are going to make the decision about the tush push.
Yeah.
My final note is, don't ban the tush push. This is the NFL. When do we see plays and say, you know what, we're going to X this out instead of going back to the drawing board and say, we're going to figure out a way to stop this play, right? Paige Dimakos, do we not remember the years of 2006, 2007, 2008, when, remember this play? The Wildcat formation took the league by storm.
Yep.
Nobody could stop it, right? The Miami Dolphins, I believe, were running it left and right, and they ran their way and thinking to the playoffs, right? And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles now with this tush push thing and saying like, oh, that's the only reason why they're winning. No, it's not. They're winning because they have the best roster in the NFL, right? They're winning because they have a top 5 quarterback, maybe in Jalen Hurts. They went and signed Saquon Barkley, who's the best running back who nobody else wanted. They went and traded for A.J. Brown. They went and drafted Devontae Smith. They went and drafted Jalen Carter when nobody wanted him. They went and got Quinyon Mitchell. They did all the things that nobody else wanted to do. That's why they're dominating games. It's not because of the tush pushing on 4th and 2 they can't stop. Because this is my thing. Can't other teams run the tush push? Why don't they run the tush push if it's just a cheat code? How about y'all try cheating? I might be from the land of you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I'm saying do not ban the tush push. I would have way too much pride as an NFL defensive coordinator or as a head coach or as a GM or as an NFL owner to walk to another team and say y'all are cheating. No, y'all not. I'm going to find a way to kick y'all ass. Did the Kansas City Chiefs not beat them in the Super Bowl with pretty much the same exact roster with the tush push intact? Find a way to beat them. That's my final point.
I love how heated you were about this because I'm equally as heated about it too.
It's
you know what
a pride
it is?
thing.
No, it's bitch behavior.
Yeah.
It is. There's no other way around it. It's embarrassing, and I can say that as the woman on the set. I can absolutely say that. And let me tell you something. League, if you don't like it, stop it. That's what my dad who's a coach told me. If you don't like losing, figure out a way to win. If you don't like getting your ass whooped, figure out a way to win. That's it. Honestly, as a man, y'all, it's embarrassing. That's how I feel.
Hey, and that's the part note. We always leave on a part note. Like, if you don't like it, stop it, right? And that's a life note right there with Paige Dimakos. That wraps up Draft Club. I'm Keith Sanchez. That's Paige Dimakos. This is Draft Club. Players only.